Now, without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to Tony over there, and Alice as well is joining. I'll let them introduce a bit later, but Alice is with us. She's a business analyst. Birdie here, she helped us as well with mostly the Birdie analytics side as well, the power of analytics. So she's here to answer as well some of your questions that you have on the Q&A. So we have a strong team here, so please do and put questions in the Q&A box. Once again, this is very important. Over to you, Tony.
Thank you, Sim. Hi, everybody. I'm super excited that you're all here to join us today. So thank you so much for putting aside the time to kind of learn a bit more about Birdie and Birdie Analytics. So quick introduction, like Sim said, my name's Tony. I'm a senior customer success manager here at Birdie. So I have many accounts. I'm sure some of you are on the call today. So big shout out to all of you guys. But I'll be taking you through the kind of webinar today. As Sim said as well, we also have Alice, who is a data analyst, and she'll be on the chat. So please do use her for any questions. Cool. So let's start looking at an agenda for today. So just a quick introduction. You've met Sim, you've met Alice, you've met myself. We're going to then look at the client feed and how to use it. We'll then look at Birdie Analytics, and it's a focus on powerful analysis and evidencing for you. We've also got some support materials at the end, so you can also access that once we send through the webinar as well. So yeah, before we start, any questions, please. We love answering questions. We love hearing your feedback. Please say hi to each other in the chats. Please use the Q&A. We love to hear from you guys. Cool. So what is the client feed? So some of you might be familiar with it. Some of you might never have heard of it before. But what we basically did was recognize that it's really important for all of our agencies to have all of their information in one place, and it needed to be easily accessible. So the client feed is something that we built out relatively recently, and it just means that we're amalgamating all of the information about your care recipients into that one specific place. So where is the client feed? Well, the client feed can be found on the left-hand menu, and it's underneath the About Me section, which some of you might be very familiar with. Within the client feed, you'll be able to see 5 different things. Number 1, you'll be able to see the visit logs. This is associated with a specific care recipient. Number 2, a lot of you will be familiar, we have our alerts, and that will be raised for the specific care recipient as well in the client feed. Number 3, we have the notes, and here you can record non-visit information such as compliments, complaints, and third-party interactions. Number 4, we have the actions. So here you can view and prioritize any actions related to the individual care recipient. Number 5, we have the concerns. So here you can view any concern raised for your specific care recipient as well. Did a little bit of a zoom in here for you. I'm just going to move that zoom thing. So we've got Fern Cotton, not the celebrity. She is our lovely client. So you can see here on the left-hand side, I've gone into her client feed, which is underneath the About Me section. And here I've got all of the information that I just mentioned with the alerts, visits, notes, and actions as well. Cool. So how to view the visit logs. So within the client feed, you can click into any visit card you would like to get more insight on. So once in the specific card, you'll be able to see all the visit details, alerts, activities, observations, care team, and timeline for the specific visit. So this gives you the full availability and visibility to see the alerts that you've been raised during the specific visit. The activities page allows you to see the status of the tasks and activities that you've added for the visit. The observations include any observations that have been logged during the specific visit. So when we talk about that, we're talking about mood, toilet visits, drink and fluid intake, and much more. The care team page also then shows the carer assigned to this visit and any preferred care professionals as well. So we've got a different client here this time. We've got the lovely Ivy Winters. And here we've clicked into one of the visit cards, and I can see all of that information at the top. So I can click into any of these for her visit as well. Cool. So how to view alerts within the client feed. So we've got a nice little GIF here. Sorry if it's a little bit blurry, you might need to zoom in a bit. But within the client feed, you can click into any alert card that you would like to get more details on. Once in the specific alert card, you'll be able to see the alert details, any comments that have been added, and a timeline, which will include an audit trail of changes to this alert. So if we look at this GIF here, we can see that we're doing the status in progress, the severity, we're changing to medium, and we're just updating the alert as we go through on the client feed. When you click on the details, you can also see all the details associated with this alert, including the status of the alert, category of the concern, severity of the concern, and the privacy settings as well. So we can make that alert public or we can make it private. Under comments, you'll be able to see any existing comments as well, and you'll have the ability to post a new one if you would like to. Okay, next we'll be looking at the notes within the client feed. So within the client feed, you can click into the notes section, and the notes section allows you to record non-visit information, such as compliments, complaints, and general interactions. Within these, you can also use tags to ensure that you're hitting your Chloe's/categories. Again, we've got a nice little zoom in of our favorite Fern Cotton. Here we've gone into the notes and we've added a compliment. So Julia's daughter has been very impressed with the care and attention that Fern has been receiving. So that's great. We've added it as a compliment, and we've also added tags. We've got well-led, responsive, and caring. So what type of notes are there within the client feed? There are 7 types of notes. We've touched upon a couple. We've got complaints, compliments, general notes, introduction, check-in call, audit, and referral. So once you've selected the note type that you would like to use, you'll be able to record the detail of the note itself. And you'll also be able to add a title. This is mandatory. You can edit any of the notes by clicking the edit button, which will appear on the bottom of the screen. So again, we've just done a nice little zoom for you here. This time it's Beth as our care recipient. I've gone to add in a new note, and let's pretend that I've added in an audit. I could add in the title here. Maybe it's a skin integrity audit. I can add any tags and then add anything that I'd like to say in the free text box as well. So we've mentioned tags a fair bit. How to add tags to your notes for you to track your Chloe's and categories. This is what's going to feed through to your Birdie analytics and makes it really easy for auditing purposes. So adding a tag allows you to surface information more quickly and easily collect evidence when you audit your care. You can add a tag when creating any notes on the client feed. Simply click on Add Tag button and select from the list of tags. You can choose to add as many tags or as little tags as you like. And here's again a nice little zoom in of where to add the tag for you. Cool. So how to create actions within the client feed. From the client feed or from within the inbox tab, you can click Add New to create a new action. Once you've completed the information, just click Save. Within the client feed, you can then click into the Action section, as we've got here. The Action section allows you to view all actions that have been allocated to your client. You can also view the actions in your inbox in the Birdie Agency Hub, which some of you might have seen before. Cool. So we've gone through the different options we have within the client feed, and now we're going to look at how to filter from within the client feed. On the client feed, you're able to use all of the filters and the advanced filters to get more specific and detailed information for a specific client. The more advanced filters include date range, carer, alerts, visit status, note type, tag, and action. So as you can see here, I've gone into the advanced filters and changed my dates. I'm clicking my specific carer and then filtering by all of the alert types that I would like. Maybe it's action needed, maybe it's forced checkout. I'm just going to pause here quickly just to see if we've got any questions and to get a little glug of water.
Don't forget, pop in your questions. We've been answering a couple of them as well, but this is your time to reflect a bit what you just heard. Was everything clear on this? Do you understand the impact that this can have as well? You can also start tagging things for if you're based in England from CQC. I'm not sure. There was a couple of tags that said that they had the Chloe's as well. Imagine how easy it is to then surface this evidence very quickly and say, here are my examples of well-led, safe, and so on. So this is a super feature. This is what we consider a super hidden feature. It's like one of those superfoods as well, but in software terms as well. So please ask your questions and understand. Most importantly, it's not just showing where things are, is for you to understand the value that it can bring to your day-to-day as well. I think we've answered most of the questions.
Nice. Thank you, Sim. So yeah, exactly like Sim said, so we've seen the client feed, we've seen the value of the client feed and how we have all the different features. But what is the point of the client feed? Well, we can tie it to your Birdie analytics. So this is where we can really add value with your Birdie analytics. If there's anybody on the call that hasn't got a Birdie Analytics license, please do reach out to your customer success manager, or I'm sure Sim will have a nice form for you at the end of the webinar as well, where you can register your interest. So what is Birdie Analytics first and foremost? Some of you might know, some of you might not know, but analytics is our tool that we use, and it's powered by Looker, which is powered by Google. This is a tool to help our agencies provide the highest quality of care through quick and easy auditing. So most of you should be able to access your Birdie Analytics account via the reporting button on your agency hub, or via this link that we'll put in the webinar slides as well for you. So looking at the client feed and tying this through to Birdie Analytics, we've picked out 3 main reports that you can use to download and audit all of the information from the client feed. The 3 reports that we're going to look at today are the notes reports, the concerns reports, and the actions reports. So starting with the notes reports, as I know that you guys are aware, we had a lot of notes from that previous slides. Notes from the client feed will pull through to the notes reports on Birdie Analytics. Sounds simple enough. The notes reports will give you an overview of all of the notes created across the client and the carer feeds, and can be used for any PIR requests you might have from local authorities, any CQC inspections, or care inspector inspections as well. This is useful to see how many notes are being created, who is creating them, and it includes the ability to see a breakdown by note type and filter by specific time periods or client groups. So you can access the notes reports on Birdie Analytics via the Care Management Board, or by searching notes in the search bar. If you don't have access again to that, please do contact your customer success manager. So great, we've got the notes reports, but how do we use it? So as a lot of you will be familiar with Birdie Analytics, we have what's called filters. And we really recommend that you filter as much as possible to get the best and detailed information that you need. We have all of these filters here at the top. We have a next slide that's a bit more zoomed in just in case you can't see. But with the filtering, we always recommend that you filter by branch, client and carer group, the client name, and the note types. So that could be audit note, complaint, compliment, etc. And then you can do it for the date created. Once you've selected the relevant filters to you, click the update button in the right-hand corner. The graph below will then reflect the changes you have made and will display the last 6 months. So you can look back for the rest of time. So here we go. All of the filters are up here. I can add in my branch name, my client name, the note type, hit update, and then all of the relevant information is going to be sitting there for me. So to view all notes, if you have an upcoming inspection or a PIR request, you can view all of the notes and their tags. So that feeds back to when we're on the client feed and we were adding our well-led, caring, effective tags. In the table view on the notes report, you can also download this to show as evidence to your inspector. So you can download your notes reports by clicking the 3 dots on the right-hand side of the report. That's found here. From here, you can download all of the notes reports, and then you can audit it offline and save it to your computer. So whilst you're still in Birdie Analytics, how to drill into the notes reports. To further drill down into the information, you can click the coloured icons at the bottom of the graph, just like this GIF is showing you here. You can toggle these on and off. So for example, if you want to look at the complaints over the past few months, you can unclick the other icons, and then to include them in the report again, you simply just have to click them again. Very interactive, as you can see here. If you do have an upcoming CQC inspection, you may want to highlight all of the compliments your agency has received from clients and from family members. So you can do this by filtering the note type to compliment and downloading the report to share with the inspector. Again, if a local authority has requested complaints information for a selection of clients, you can filter by the tagged client name and the note type to find this information and easily download it for the council to review. So that was the notes reports. Now we're going to look at the concerns report. Concerns from the client feed pull through to the concerns report on Birdie Analytics. Again, nice and simple. So the concerns report show a detailed breakdown of all the concerns such as incidents, accidents, skin integrity, medication, and when they were raised. You can also see the public or private setting. Concerns from the client feed pull through to the concerns report on Birdie Analytics, as we know. When you use the filters at the top of the report, you'll get this nice table here, which will have a breakdown of all of the concerns that were raised. We have the raised by type, category, the description, privacy, whether that's public or private, concern type, description, and what caused it, and describing the event, impact on the client, and any actions that have been taken. So you can see a real breakdown of all the concerns, filtered by a specific time period or client. And again, you can download this report and use it for auditing purposes on your laptop or computer. So that was a concerns report. Now we're going to look at the actions report. Again, the actions from the client feed will pull through to the actions report on your Birdie analytics. So the due date filter by default for the actions report is set to any time. You can change this to a specific month or to a specific year. The status filter will show you whether an action is in progress, completed, or archived. So this is a really good way for you to have a look at your agency and see what's been actioned and what is still in progress and what needs to be archived. There is also overdue boxes. You can tick these to quickly see whether the actions are overdue or not. Additionally, you can also choose to filter by client and/or by the carer group. Again, you can download any of this information by clicking on the 3 dots that is found at the top here. So we really encourage you to use all of the filters at the top. Make sure you're clicking the arrow to update it and then downloading it, using it for your auditing purposes. Here we have a nice zoom in again. This is all of the actions. Looks like we've got 10,000 to get through, which will take us just about to the end of the year. But yeah, if you use the filters at the top, make sure that you're adding in the client or carer group and then downloading by those 3 dots at the top for you there. So how else can Birdie help with your business monitoring? A few of you might have heard of the Birdie Q score. So the Birdie Q score is created in line with the Care Quality Commission's CLOEs and categories. It is a rough guide that we've put together from Birdie to help our agencies provide the highest quality of care and work to achieving an outstanding CQC rating. So much like the CQC, it's on a scale of 1 to 4, from inadequate to outstanding. It is accessible via your Birdie Analytics or via your monthly email update, which I'm sure a lot of you will be receiving. We have some more support articles as well on the Q score. We have our Help Centre, the Office Manager course as part of the Birdie Academy. And then you can also start a live chat and we'll be able to send you more information about the Q score or any other kind of Birdie Analytics support materials that you guys might need. Cool. So that was a brief run through of the client feed and the reports that you guys can access. I really hope it was helpful for you guys. I'm going to pass back to Sim, who's going to close us down, I think, today. Thanks, Sim.
Yeah, thank you so much. This is can you understand how impactful this can be in saving you time, especially around auditing, right? The worst thing that you can do is, when you have an inspection or something like this, is wasting time trying to find where is this information, trying to understand what happened with an issue, just having a clear audit trail. Everything at Birdie is almost like time-stamped. So everything that's changed gets logged as well. So when the inspector comes in, you can kind of make sure that you know and fully understand what happened to that particular client, for example. Also, imagine a space where you're doing a one-to-one with a staff member as well, and you want to try to understand as well how they're performing as well. Or you doing your own mock inspection, which if you have some time, you should definitely try to do it again. You look at the Q score, and the Q score just helps you prioritize which area do you need to focus on. Is it more on missed medications? Have I had loads of them? Is it about missed calls? Is it about the number of alerts that have not been resolved on time or are still opened as well? So you need to use, the tool is only as good as the information that you put in, obviously. So that's why it's so important. You guys do amazing work day in, day out. And the challenge is always not that you are not doing a great job, is how do you prove that you're doing a great job? Even for your own managers, even for your own sanity, how I work so hard, how can I understand how am I performing? Or even obviously when you have an inspection or a local authority queries something as well. We have agencies that use this in multitude of things as well. When, for example, there's any safeguarding issue, and if obviously it escalates to almost like a legal matter as well, it's super easy because you have everything logged. So you have concrete evidence. This is what I did. This is how I reacted. And this is how I tried to solve it as well. And again, with most of these things, this is not to report, or you shouldn't use this data to point fingers. It's like, you didn't do this, I forgot to do this. It's more around you understanding where you can do better, where you can you need to understand a bit better. So please, if you have any other questions, even around more specific around, can I do this with the client feed? Can I do this with Birdie Analytics? Please ask now as well. We left plenty of room as well for your questions as well. So please put it in the Q&A box. While you do that, so after this, obviously after this webinar, again, like I said before, we have a bit of a survey. It's super important for us to understand what do you want to hear next. How did you find the short webinar today as well? Was it helpful? Please give us as much feedback as possible as well. And the other thing, which is going to be super important, if you don't have access to Birdie Analytics, you will be directed to the Birdie Analytics kind of request, like almost like a bit of a demo. If you do have Birdie Analytics, but you're struggling with the report and how to use it as well, you can always use the support inbox. And if you have a customer success manager as well, do reach out to him or her. Ooh. Okay, we've answered 17 questions so far. Any more questions? Great. Okay. Yes, don't forget, I will be sending the slides and the recording of this webinar to everyone. You need to wait until tomorrow while this Zoom thing kind of processes, but don't worry. We also have created a very good guide, which highlights as well a bit all of these nuggets of information with links to the help articles that we have on our help center as well. So you can always use that. Okay, so if there's no more questions, please fill in that survey. It was a pleasure to host you. If you do have further questions as well, we're always here as well to support you guys. So please just let me know if there's anything else that you have challenges with as well. And thank you for your time. It was great to have you all here and really appreciate you. Have an amazing rest of the week. Bye, everyone.